Module 1, Session 2. Session 2 will cover Learning Outcome 3.1.1, Derive and apply the equation of a circle any center, Part B. Learning Outcome 3.1.1, Derive and apply the equation of a circle any center, Part B. Now let's turn to the situation where we have a circle that does not have its center at the origin. The center is at any point M, A, B. Let's see how the formula for the circle can be derived. First, we let P, X, Y be a point on the circumference of the circle. We draw in lines parallel to the axes from point P and point M. Because the distance between any point on the circumference of a circle to its center is the radius of the circle, PM is R. We now have a right-angled triangle, where the length of PQ is Y minus B, and the length of MQ is X minus A. Using the distance formula or Pythagoras, we can say that PM squared is equal to MQ squared plus PQ squared. In other words, R squared is equal to X minus A squared plus Y minus B squared. This is the equation for a circle with center AB. Teaching tip. Let's have a look at the kinds of questions that can be asked with the circle center not at the origin. Students could be asked to find the equation given the radius and the center. Find the equation given the center and another point. Find the center and the radius given the equation. Remind students that they need to complete the square for this kind of question if the equation is not in the correct form. Let's work through an example. Find the equation of a circle with its center at 3, 4 with a radius of 5 units. So we have been given our point xy, which is 3, 4, and our radius of 5. We know the equation for a circle with center AB is r squared is equal to x minus a squared plus y minus b squared. Substituting our given values, we get 5 squared is equal to x minus 3 squared plus y minus 4 squared. We multiply out and we get 25 is equal to x squared minus 6x plus 9 plus y squared minus 8y plus 16. Simplifying, we find that the equation of our circle is x squared plus y squared minus 6x minus 8y is equal to 0. Now we will try another example. Please do this activity in pairs. Determine the equation of a circle with center C, -1 and -2, and passing through the point B, 1 and -6. Now watch a lecturer solving the problem on video.
Let's consider the following example. In this instance, we need to find the equation of a circle with center -1 is to -2 and passing through the point B, 1 is to -6. Let's consider this diagram here. You people can see here, the first thing is that your center point is not your origin. And because of the fact that your center point here is not your origin, that's why we're going to use a different example. That means that will be point A and that will be point B. And the point here at your circumference will be 1 x value and -6. Formula that we will use now, please, we use square brackets, x minus a bracket squared plus y minus b bracket squared is equal to r squared. Which means we have the x value and we have the a value, we have the y value and we have the b value. That means we can straight away calculate r squared. R squared therefore will be equal to, our x value here is equal to 1 minus, obviously our a value will be -1. Be careful when we substitute, plus our y value here will be -6 minus our b value will be bracket -2 squared. And now this gives you a minus and a minus gives you a plus, so it's 1 plus 1, it's 2 squared, plus a minus 6 and a plus 2 gives you minus 4 squared. And if we use your calculator, r squared will therefore be equal to 20. Very, very important to note now, our equation will be in the form x minus a squared plus y minus b squared. And immediately now we can then substitute the calculated r value. So finally, our equation of circle, we will now substitute the a and the b values. X, very important, minus 1 will give you a plus 1 squared, plus y minus and a minus 2 will give you a plus 2 squared equal to 20.
If students are given the equation of a circle that is not in the form r squared is equal to x minus a squared plus y minus b squared, and they are asked to find the radius r or the center M at AB, they will be required to complete the square in order to get the equation in the correct form that will allow them to read off the radius r and the coordinates of center AB. It's important that they are reminded how to do this, as they may have forgotten from level 3. The next activity requires us to complete the square. Work through the activity on your own or in pairs. If the equation of a circle is given as x squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 8y minus 12 is equal to 0, calculate, number 1, the coordinates of the center of the circle, number 2, the radius of the circle. Let's watch a lecturer work through the solution by completing the square.
Let's consider the following example. If the equation of a circle is given as x squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 8y minus 12 is equal to 0, calculate, firstly, the coordinates of the center of the circle. In this specific instance, the equation is given. We need to restructure that equation in the form of where the center is given. So this specific equation, we need to restructure it in this form. It's first important to focus on really what they want us to do. And it links up with the previous example that we have done. That's our first stage. How will we structure that given equation in that form? We have two variables there, x squared as well as y squared. What does that mean? Firstly, we need to rearrange all our x's together. And then we had to rearrange all our y's together. And we need to move the constant to the right-hand side. It was minus 12, it will now become plus 12. Then the next stage is we need to complete the square in terms of x's, and we need to complete the square in terms of y's. How will you do that? It's going to be x squared minus 4x. How will you complete the square in terms of x? Always the formula is a half times the coefficient of x. In this instance, it's minus 4, and that need to be squared. And if you work this out, you will see that's going to be minus 2 squared, which gives you 4 minus 2, that gives you 4. So in other words, we're going to add 4 there. We do exactly the same with y, a half times the coefficient of y squared, and that equals to 16. So you're going to add a 16. But now, one thing to note, which is very, very important here. This is an equation because of the equal sign. We have added a 4 on the left-hand side, and we've added a 16 also on the left-hand side. Which means, in order for this equation to remain balanced, the 4 that I add there, I also need to add it there. And the 16 that I add there, I also need to add it there. And people, if you don't do that, you give this equation alcohol. In other words, adding 4 and 16 on the left-hand side without doing it on the right-hand side, this equation will be unbalanced. And now, your next step is, you're going to write then your left-hand side as a perfect square, x. Very important to note, the center sign remains. The square root of 4 is 2. That's going to be squared, plus y. Very important, the center sign remains. The square root of 16 is 4 squared, and we just add up. It's 32. And this is the equation of the circle. That's the first phase of this question. Now, our question is the coordinates of the center. Now, one thing to note here, center coordinates, obviously, our center coordinates are, how will you find A? Please take note, you do this here. X minus 2 is equal to 0. It implies that x is equal to 2, and that will be equal to your A value. And then y plus 4 is equal to 0. It implies that y is equal to minus 4, and that will be equal to your B value. So your center coordinates therefore will be, your x coordinate will be equal to 2, and your y coordinate will be minus 4. And also, we can even continue here, your radius. Now here we need to be very careful. Remember, this is r squared is equal to 32. So your radius will be equal to the square root of 32.
Now let's try another example in pairs or on your own. If the equation of a circle is x squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 6y plus 9 is equal to 0, and the center of the circle is at 2 and k, calculate k. A lecturer is going to take us through the solution. This question could be solved by completing the square, but the lecturer is going to use an alternative method.
If the equation of a circle is x squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 6y plus 9 is equal to 0, and the center of the circle is at 2 and b, calculate the value of b. Now, we have been given to note that this particular circle doesn't have the center at the origin. What do I mean by that? We know that normally it would be x squared plus y squared equals to r squared. This means that this particular circle has a center which is at the origin. You might look at two different circles. Look at the top circle. So you're looking at your xy plane. something of this nature. So what does it mean? It means that your center might be here. And then, looking at this one, your center is at the origin of the Cartesian plane, which means that the value here is at the center. This demonstrates this circle, and this demonstrates something similar to this, which is not this. Hence, I remove the dot there. But these are your y-axis, these are your x-axis. Obviously, y-axis, x-axis. This is just for me to demonstrate what these two different equations of circles mean. With that in mind, you therefore have to solve this according to the given information over there. What does it mean? It means that you must look at the center, the given center, and then you substitute accordingly here. We're going to do that on this side. So you can see that this is the x value, this is the y value, this is the y value. So which means that with the x value, this 2 must come here, and then the b must sit here with a k. But you can just leave the k because the b is already the unknown, which k is also the unknown. X, so we're going to use this equation, minus b. Why did we choose 2? Because 2 is the x coordinate of this center. Following the equation, plus y minus k all squared is equal to r squared. What else do we need? 2 brackets. So what does it mean? It means that you're going to have x squared, because it's 2 bracket, and then x times negative 2, negative 2x. Again, negative 2 times x, negative 2x again. So which you have gives you negative 4x. You might need to expand this to see what I mean, but that's the answer. And then plus 4. Why do we say plus 4? Because we know that negative 2 times negative 2 gives you positive 4. Expand this as well. Y squared minus 2yk. Again, you're going to just have to make 2 brackets so that you can see what I mean. Plus k squared. Yes, is equal to r squared. So here it's me expanding here, and then here it's me expanding here. The next thing you need to do, rearrange this equation, if you want to call it, such that your variables are arranged in the degree of their exponents. So x is the power of 2. Any other variable with the power of 2? Yes. K is a constant, it's not a variable. Y is, then followed by minus 4x, followed by minus 2yk, followed by plus 4 plus k squared, all equal to r squared. Once you've got to this stage, what then you need to understand is the following. You need now to come back to what you were given, then you compare them. So which means that you're going to rewrite this equation now. This plus y squared that minus 4x that minus 6y, which is this part, plus 9, which is this, equal to 0. Now you can see some similarities, or you can get some similarities right away. Now let me demonstrate what I mean. This goes with that, this goes with that, this goes with that. Now you look particularly at y and y. which means that 6 is represented by 2k. That's what we were interested in. So 6 is represented by 2k. What does that mean now? It means the following. Therefore, 2k is equal to, actually in actual sense, negative 2k, because of the negative sign, negative 2k is equal to negative 6. We want to find the value of k. Divide both sides by negative 2, negative 2. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 gives me positive 1. Positive 1 times k gives me k, which is equal to negative 6 divided by negative 2 gives me positive 3, which means that in the place of 2k, you can actually have a value of 3. So which means that P is equal to 3. You have solved your equation and found the value of P.